Real Estate, and today I want to talk to you about a little bit of maintenance that needs to be done on a hot water tank. Basically the way a hot water tank works is there's a burner in the bottom, water supply comes in on one side, and it forces water out into your house on the other side. Of course, as the water heats, the hot water comes to the top, and this is called a dip tube, and it basically forces water right down to the bottom of your hot water heater, and then it forces all of that 40 or 45 or 50 gallons of water up for use into your house. These are plastic, and if they weren't, they would corrode more, but they do become brittle. And so we've noticed in our house that the hot water hasn't been lasting as long as it should. So oftentimes what can happen is these can get a crack in them, or they can break right off. And that's what I suspect has happened here, is that we're only getting maybe 10 minutes of hot water now, whereas before we would have got like a 20-minute shower, so to speak. So that means that the dip tube is likely broken or damaged somehow. So I'm going to have a look and see if that's actually what the problem is. So as expected, pulled this out, and of course you can see that it had completely snapped off right up by the threads here. So it was allowing the water to push down. It maybe shot down a foot or so, and so that's the amount of water we were getting out of this hot water tank, is probably only about that much. And so by replacing this, it'll allow the cold water to go all the way down to the bottom and give us a full tank full of hot water. This, on my setup, I've had to cut the pipes and I have to resolder things back together. So depending on your abilities and skill set, you might not want to do this yourself, and you might have to get a plumber to do it. But this at least gives you an idea of what the problem might be. Okay, so I put the new dip tube in and got the plumbing hooked back up to it. Checked for leaks, set waters on, all that. Make sure that if you're doing this, that you get the tank full of water again before you turn the gas back on for the burner. This may not be a do-it-yourself type job. This one might be a little bit more involved, but I wanted to show you so that you would know that if you're not having as much hot water as you think you should have, if it's running cold after the first 2 or 3 minutes of using it, that could be the problem. So that way, if you're talking to a plumber, you might have a bit better idea.